Hey everybody, so today I'm here to review the Owlet Sock 2 for you guys. So this is a review that's been a long time coming. A lot of you have asked for it and I've been meaning to get to it. It's just really hard to review something that we use so often. So first I'm going to go over just some general information and then I will get into our experience, if I recommend it, stuff like that. So first off, what the Owlet Sock is, if you've never heard of it or don't know much about it, I'm just going to read a little excerpt. So they say that the Smart Sock 2 uses pulse oximetry to track your infant's heart rate and oxygen levels while they sleep. This information is communicated to your phone via a base station that is designed to notify you if your baby's heart rate or oxygen levels fall outside of preset zones. So basically, this is a monitor that goes on your baby's foot, as you can see in the picture, and it is going to keep track of their heart rate and their oxygen levels. And if they drop below or rise past certain zones, it'll alert you and you will be notified. So as far as how much this costs, as of right now, it looks like most stores, whether it's Amazon, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, so many different places carry this monitor. It's going for about $300. I will say that around Black Friday, towards the second half of the year, I see it frequently go on sale for $200, especially when they were launching the video monitor that they have with it now. So around that time of year, I have seen some major sales on it, but it never lasts long. Every single sale, I saw it sell out at every single place with it being $100 off. And as for what you get, this is the box that it will come in. Obviously, this is just a little slip cover that comes off, and then the box opens up like this. There is some extra stuff and it looks a lot nicer. I obviously just threw all of our stuff in here. So this right here is your base station. This is what's going to sit right on your bedside table or wherever you would like to keep it at. This right here is the cord. This is the current sock that we're using that I have plugged in. There will also be another cord that comes out of your base station and it goes into the wall to power it, obviously. So this right here is your like little command center basically. And then right here you have the sock. I had two different socks kind of on there, but this is the one that we're using right now. And then it does come with multiple size socks. So this is size 2. This is the size 1 that she no longer fits in, but we won't talk about that because that's sad. And then there's also a size 3 all the way down here at the bottom of the box. Once I get past all these packets, down here, size 3 that we have not tapped into yet, but there are multiple size socks. And then, as you heard me say, there is multiple pamphlets involved. So you have the warranty and disclaimers, and then there's like a little kind of guide and an overview of what all the different stuff does. So there's that, and then there's kind of like a quick start overview of everything that you need to know, from how to place the sock, how to size it, all the different things you can do on the base station, and then the different alerts that you may see or the colors of the base station. So that is everything that's included. And like I said, there is another cord for you to plug it into the wall as well. But that's basically everything that comes with your Owlet monitor. And of course, you will download the app, and whether you have an Android or an iPhone, you can do that. And as far as the app goes, this is what it looks like. It's just loading up right now. And there it's loading Lexi's picture. And as you can see, she's not wearing it right now. It says that it can't even connect to the base station. It's because I have it out here. But typically it would say that the base station is off and, you know, it's charging, because that's typically where it is if she's not wearing it. And then that's what the screen will look like. You can go over here to history, and you can see that she has worn it every single day. But we'll get to that in a minute. But then obviously you can click on that day. You can get a breakdown from daytime sleep to nighttime sleep. You can get graphs, you know, what the sleep looked like, notifications. We haven't had any notifications today, stuff like that. And there's also multiple other things. And if you couldn't tell, the little monitor piece is actually slipped inside the sock. So when you change the sock, you just pop it out up top here, and then you just slip it out, and this is actually the monitor itself. So you will pull this out anytime you go to wash your socks, and that's your little monitor. That's what costs so much money. But yes, That is your monitor, and that is everything that comes with the Owlet itself. Also, this monitor is HSA and FSA eligible. Now on to our experience and everything with this. First off, we have wanted this Owlet for a really long time. We do have 2 older daughters who are now 5 and 4, and we wanted it with them. However, we just could not afford it. However, this time we were able to get one, and we really tried to make it a priority just because of our loss history. We had 4 miscarriages trying to have Lexi, so it was really important to me that we have it. And I understand that that's some people's concern with the Owlet, is that it brings assurance to parents, but personally that was a selling point, and it's one of the reasons why I recommend it so much. I kept seeing it on sale, like I told you, over the second half of the year, and I would mention it to Mark that it's $100 off, we should probably buy it, and he'd be like, we got time, it's all right, it'll be fine. And then of course, when it finally came time to us needing one, it went right back up to the $300 mark. We found one that was $100 off, brand new, still sealed, everything, on eBay, and after a lot of research, we went ahead and we did that, and we also bought the 1-year extra warranty on it just in case we got it and it did not work out. But we did a lot of research. I would recommend you do your own if you're going through somewhere like eBay or any kind of used buying site, because I know that these get resold a lot too. So just make sure that you're comfortable with what you're doing before you do it, and it seems legit. So with that being said, I'll just kind of jump into us using it, us getting it. First of all, the setup was really easy. Mark put it together. She's worn it every single day since she's been home from the hospital, and she is now 8 months old. So we use this thing every single day, multiple times a day. When she was a newborn, it was more like we just used it at night, because most of the time she was either napping on us or directly next to us. So for that reason, I didn't feel the need to put the sock on. And honestly, when she grew out of that phase, she was only napping for 20 minutes at a time. So it wasn't worth it to, unzip her onesie or whatever just to put it on for 20 minutes to take it off. But now she takes 2 naps a day that is around at least an hour each. And because of that, it's definitely worth it. And we know what time she's going to be going down and everything else, that we do put it on at nap time and also all night long. I will say right off the bat that the battery is pretty good. However, I am definitely charging it between naps and after bedtime. The sock is typically fully charged by the time she goes to bed, and when she wakes up, there's typically around 30% left. And if I forget to put it on the charger, that will last through her first nap, but it's definitely getting down into the very low 2 digits, like around 10-11% by the time she's done with that nap. So it definitely needs to be on the charger after that. So you can get a long use out of it battery wise, but if you can, I'd definitely be putting it on the base station to charge in between uses. As far as the socks go, we've been using size 1 for the majority of the time. I think it was just about a month ago we actually switched over to size 2. My kid just might have some small feet. I'm not really sure. I don't really know what baby's feet kind of run, but we haven't had to size up super quickly or anything. She's 8 months old. She's still in a size 2, and I can see her fitting into this for quite some time because we have a good amount of space in it. But the sock size and also the sock placement is really important. When you read the pamphlets in there, they tell you about 1,800 times how important that stuff is. So just make sure that you're reading it thoroughly and you understand what they're asking of you. And that way you know that you've got a great fit and that won't affect any kind of alarms that you might get. Speaking of the socks, they do recommend that you wash them. And whenever I read that, I was like, yeah, like every once in a while, I'm sure. However, it's going to depend on how sweaty your kids' feet get. And I'm sure it doesn't help that Lexi 9 times out of 10 is in a footed sleeper, and she does have pretty sweaty feet for a baby. It's been kind of funny. Some of my kids have had sweaty feet, some of them haven't, so it's just going to depend on your baby. But she has had sweaty feet, or like after a bath when she's all lotioned up, like it can just get a little gunky, especially on the plastic right here. So whether it's from sweat, lotion, whatever, the sleeper, sometimes there's fuzzies. So you are recommended to hand wash this. It's really easy. I honestly do it right after I get done washing her bottles, and then I just try to wring it out as much as possible, as much as you can with this, and then I just place it right on the drying mat and it's good to go. You do have to like pick the fuzzies out of this part, the Velcro, but it's pretty easy. I would recommend it. Try to do it like first thing after they wake up in the morning because it does kind of take all day to dry. So the one and only thing that I think Mark and I are in agreement on that we don't like about it is that when you do unplug the sock from the base station as if it was charging and you go to put it on your baby, it does not automatically turn on. You have to remember to turn on the base station, which will then search and start, creating a reading for you. So sometimes we forget just because of how crazy bedtime can be, especially with having 2 older girls. Sometimes we just forget to turn the base station on. We're doing some other unrelated things to do with her sleep, and we are trying to be very consistent with bedtime. We've made turning on the sock part of that. And because of that, it's made us a bit more consistent in actually turning it on. But that is annoying because sometimes I've noticed an hour has gone by since she's been asleep and I'm like, oh my gosh, it hasn't been on. And that's when my anxiety will peak and I'm stressing out the entire time it's trying to find a reading until it finally comes through. And I will say that I do like on the app, you can control whether or not your base station is on or off. It's got a little toggle switch. For whatever reason, someone forgets to take the sock off, I can just turn the base station off right from my app. I've had babysitters forget to take the sock off in the morning and I'll get an alert to my phone. I can check cameras, make sure everything's okay. I see everything's fine. I can turn it off right from my app. That way they're not like, what's going on here? So I do like that. I also like that if I forget to turn it on at night, I can just turn it on from my phone. I don't have to go in there. I don't have to wake her up or anything like that. So it's nice, but we both just wish that it would just automatically turn on once you took it off the charger. I'm not sure why it doesn't do that already. So I think the 2 biggest questions I've gotten from Instagram and on here has been false alarms and also asking about burns. And I will say that that's the 2 biggest things that stood out to me when I personally went through the Amazon reviews and I read them myself. However, I have not had a single issue with either of those. I don't know what the big discrepancy is. I don't understand why some people say, this is awful. I've had so many bad experiences with this, and some other people have absolutely no issue at all. I don't know why it's so split like that, but in my experience, I haven't had any of that happen. We have not had any false alarms whatsoever. We have had plenty of sock fit alarms. Those are yellow alarms. Your base station will flash yellow. You'll get like a little lullaby that the base station will sing and also will come up on your app. It'll also notify you on your app. And it'll just say, hey, she might have moved. It's not on correctly, whatever. You're going to have to adjust it. But we get those 9 times out of 10 because someone forgets to take her sock off. So it's just saying, she's obviously up, she's walking with it, it's not being used how it's supposed to be. So no wonder the alarm's going off. I think once, maybe twice, it's been an honest, not on correctly kind of alarm. And as far as the red alarms go, whether it's something to do with their heart rate or their oxygen, where it's going to notify you on your phone, it's going to flash red, it is more of an alarm sounding. The yellow misfit sock alarms, that's a little lullaby that just plays and it's loud and you can hear it and you're going to notice it. But the alarm to actually know something's wrong is an alarm. I didn't know what it sounded like until I YouTubed it and I had other people send me clips of theirs and they were able to show me what it actually sounds like. But just know that there's a difference. So if you're wondering what it's going to sound like whenever the red alarm goes off, trust me, you're going to know. And as far as the burn thing, I have never had that happen. The only thing is once, I think just because that was kind of in my mind, I was scared that had happened. And what I realized, it was after we had given her a bath, which is typically around bedtime. We put her sock on her after we had lotioned her up and everything, but her skin is obviously still a little moist. And because of that, the little plastic piece right here is going to trap some moisture in their foot. And it makes this little rectangle shape on their foot, and it makes it look pruny and wrinkly and a little bit raised up. And at first I thought that was a burn, but I realized she was in no pain, discomfort, and it went away after we took away the sock for like 20 minutes. And I realized that it was after she had a bath. And that has been just a common thing we see if we happen to give a bath right before bedtime. Putting this on, her foot's just a little pruny because it's had that water kind of trapped because of the plastic all night. So that's the only thing that I can think maybe some people are seeing, although I have seen some pictures that look a lot more severe than that. However, I've never had that problem. I would say that those two things were my biggest hesitations on buying it, because I did not want to increase my anxiety about using this, having a whole bunch of false alarms. I didn't think that that would be healthy. And I also obviously didn't want to burn my child. So because of that, I was kind of hesitant. But then, when we got the warranty and some other stuff, I figured, if it doesn't work out, it's going to be all right and we can always send it back. However, we haven't had a single issue. It's been great. It's been something, like I said, she's used every single day since the day we've been home from the hospital. I think there was only like 1, maybe 2 nights where I forgot to charge it and she couldn't wear it at night, but I stayed up until like 2 in the morning until it was charged and I could put it on her. So I don't know. I just can't say enough good things about it. Like I said, I know some people's problem with this product is that it does reassure parents. However, I like that. It's worked well. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. When we took Lexi to her cardiologist appointment, I found that their readings were pretty spot on for when she was asleep to what her Owlet typically says. I'm not trying to be scientific and do some kind of exact comparison or anything. Don't come for me. I'm just saying what I noticed as a mom who has no medical profession or knowledge at all, just something that I've noticed. I'm very comfortable using it. Our pediatrician knows that we use it. She's okay with it. She actually really likes it. So I don't know, you're going to find a different opinion everywhere, but my personal experience with it, and even my husband, because Mark was really sold on it this time around after everything we'd been through. He especially wanted it just as much as I did, and he is just as adamant as putting the sock on as I am, and it brings a lot of relief to both of us. Like I said, I wish I could have had it for my older 2 kids. Obviously, it's not a necessity because they are 4 and 5 and everything is fine and everything is great, and I got through that. However, I will say that it has brought me such an ease and a peace of mind this time around. And I really do think it's worthwhile if you can afford it. I know it's expensive, but if you have the money, if you have the ability to get one, have one, whatever, I do highly recommend it, because it's just been a baby product that has, I don't know, time and time again, I've been very, very thankful for. But it definitely has been one of our very favorite baby products. And it's just been able to give us that peace of mind. And I know that's what everybody says, but that's exactly what it is. That's why, you're not really going to hear a different phrase when people talk about it, because that's what it gives. But that is everything for my review. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.